Hello everybody and welcome to week 4 of the Australian Amateur Overwatch League. I'm Swift and I'm joined here with my fellow casters, Boxboy and Briefree. How are you guys going?
I'm going good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm going alright.
Alright, so we're watching here Unknown up against Moonlight, and we're with our new set of maps for the AAOL, so we're starting off here on Elios.
We are indeed seeing this new Sombra. First week for the AAOL.
New Sombra coming out on the side of Unknown. Also interesting to see them picking the Moira for this attack. Moonlight able to get to the point first, and Unknown are sort of just putting some pressure in on the outside as they come in and try and contest the point and stop them from making a capture.
Time to raise my APM.
Early trade comes out for both sides. It looks like Unknown might be fighting back here just a little bit. The D.Va getting low, but Kamer gets taken out there on the Moira. Bozart on the point with the Sombra, but there's probably not much he can do when he's up against 3 members of Moonlight, but he's able to escape, and it looks like that Moonlight might take the point here after a prolonged battle. Box, what do you think Unknown did wrong there?
I think they just left the D.Va on the side a bit and left the Pharah on the outside as well. Pharah got a few pot shots in there and left them all low. And that was also allowed D.Va to get a mech back.
Unknown just looking to come back here, poking, prodding, looking for an early kill, and it's Moonlight that uses the sound barrier to start the fight, though might have been a bit early because they didn't really get much out of it. There's still no kills here in this fight. Pharah's still in the sky, and it looks like Unknown struggling to do anything until Noir takes out the Pharah on Zenyatta, and that self-destruct does great benefits for Unknown, who look like they're just
Oh, the EMP!
Late EMP, it didn't really seem necessary, did it? They threw a lot of ults.
The cherry on top there.
Yeah, they threw a lot of ults into that fight, but they were able to take it. But it looks like that Moonlight want to come in quick here, but Bozot on the Sombra causing havoc in the backline. Translocates back out to safety, and this new Sombra is feeling pretty powerful.
I need healing.
Oh, and it's
and Mercy!
They got
take it
missed.
out so fast, and that's probably going to halt Moonlight's push, but they do get one trade kill onto its map.
The power of destruction.
Looks like Moonlight are backing out of this fight. They're going to regroup.
Ooh, and the hack on the Pharah. She can no longer just fly away from that.
I'm keeping my eye on this Sombra play because it seems to be keeping the team together and just making sure that Moonlight aren't able to make a push because they've got to deal with the Sombra that's harassing their backline.
I don't think they've figured it out that the Sombra is down there at the moment.
He keeps getting behind them, and
Ooh, a hacked
just
D.Va.
hack the D.Va, does some damage, translocates out, and then that's just stalling Moonlight. And Unknown already at 60% on this first point.
And already, like, as we saw, the last time they had a fight,
Another EMP comes out
EMP
there.
and
Coalescence also
one.
comes out from Kaima, who's able to get a couple kills, and that's another complete team wipe. Seen 2 of those already.
This Sombra is just really working out for them.
Yeah, Sombra's doing work, sort of just harassing the backline, wasting heaps of time. Like this D.Va, he's focusing Tuxedo on the D.Va, and he's trying not
Tuxedo
to...
has nothing he can do.
Yeah, he's sort of just
They have
walking
to
away.
push.
Right, this is going to be their last shot for Moonlight to take the point back, but already Dollars gets taken out on the Winston, and the D.Va self-destruct comes in, doesn't find anybody.
Hack was a little bit late on there from Bozot, but
Sawglass is able to take out Kamer on the Moira, and it looks like that Moonlight might be fighting back here.
yeah, it seems that Unknown was pretty low on ultimates at the beginning of that fight.
Ultimate's ready.
Box, what do you think cost Unknown the point there?
I think just the ultimates that they didn't have, the other team, because the Sombra kept hacking everyone, they
It's
were
yeah.
able to hold their ults.
interesting too to see that they still have 3 ults on the side of Moonlight here, so they are in a position where they can hold this point. And it could get to 99-99, especially if Zephyr gets a pulse bomb that early in the fight, takes out main DPS for Unknown. Unknown just regrouping. But was that still being a nuisance there on the Sombra? Coalescence comes out there from Kima, as does the self-destruct, and the self-destruct and the tactical visor using 2 ults there.
And the EMP!
Lots of ults coming out. Unknown are desperate to retake this point as it's going to 99%. Trade does come in, but it looks like it might be too much as Unknown are just rolling every member of the point on the point for Moonlight, and that should be a retake and a first round win.
That Soldier Sombra combo is just so strong at the moment.
Yeah.
Because
I can't stop watching that Sombra.
yeah, if the Sombra EMPs, Soldier just gets 3 shots onto everyone and they can't move.
Free, what do you think that Moonlight can do to deal with that Sombra?
I feel like their best chance would be, it's really difficult, with only having Sombra out for, like, a week. It's hard to tell exactly what can counter her at the moment, aside from just another Sombra.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that they're going to be opting for that. It could be a mistake. Tuxedo is switching onto the Roadhog for this well point. They, both teams opting for an Orisa, but it's the Orisa Hog combo, which is quite powerful on well for the side of Moonlight.
That health pack will be the thing that could very well change the tides. These hacked health kits.
Interesting too, both teams on this round opting for the Moira. This Kama's just trying to harass Tracer, but he gets taken out. Zephyr in a 1v1 there on a health pack.
The objective is now active.
That early pick could hurt. Wow, and Tuxedo hooks Ulick into the well and takes him down with him. It looks like Moonlight's gonna get the early take here and start building up their progress.
Moonlights are fighting back.
That was a very...
That was a critical
late
kill.
stagger.
Yeah.
That's
Zephyr's
good
got
work
the
on
pulse
Zephyr.
bomb. Yeah, Zephyr's got the pulse bomb up now too. He's doing... I think he's probably standing out the most for me at the moment on the side of Moonlight. Tuxedo getting low on the Roadhog and...
Oh, the double boop!
Double rocket kill there from Ulick. Gets a support and a tank, so... Zephyr's pulse bomb isn't able to find anything as he gets hacked by the Sombra. It's Matt gets a kill onto his counterpart, Orisa, and Kama gets a kill. Oh. Well, it looks like Unknown might be...
Looks like they're still trying to fight it. Nope.
Yeah, and Unknown takes the point.
Right now, Unknown's in a very good position with their ultimates.
Yeah, good ultimate advantage. They got the EMP coming up, the tactical visor coming up. Every other ultimate except the self-destruct basically ready for Unknown to use to hold this point.
Translocating. Feeling much better.
Moonlight jump onto the point, and yeah, EMP does come out from Buzzer.
Very easy, easy push for them.
Sound barrier does come out for Unknown, but Unknown hasn't found any kills yet, and well, looks like Moonlight is able to overcome the early sound barrier and EMP. It's Matt does get a trade kill onto Dollars there, and another kill onto the Lucio, but it's
Oh, looks like they're swapping off the Sombra. Off to the Junkrat.
Interesting, and Unknown have decided to come in and start pushing here despite their not their whole team being ready, but that's a great pulse bomb from Zephyr, is able to find the Soldier and the Supercharger. Both teams fighting on the point here, but it's currently Moonlight who's in control, so they're the ones building up the control percentage at the moment. That was a great hook on the Diva into the well, but Diva was able to fly out, and out comes the whole hog from Tuxedo, who just pushes back members of Unknown. Oh, great hook comes in from Tuxedo onto Hidden, and that's going to be a really bad stagger as there's only 10 seconds to go until overtime.
Oh, but we've got the Junkrat on that tire.
Very quick Riptide coming in. Let's see. They're going to need to get something with it, but Bozot gets taken out while using the Riptire, but he is able to get a kill onto the Lucian.
That's an important part of this combination right here, because without the Lucio, they can't speed around, they can't get those groups, can't displace the enemy team.
So
They have to fall back.
Unknown is able to retake the point here, but they don't currently have any ultimates on hand. The Pulse Bomb's coming up quickly for Zephyr, as is the Whole Hog from Tuxedo. Dollars currently has the Supercharger. So if they can win one quick team fight here before Unknown's able to get ultimates up, that'll win them this round. But that won't help. That's an early kill onto Zephyr that might just halt this push of Moonlight.
There's the hook into the well.
Oh, both hogs are out.
Interesting.
Coalescence.
Advisor coming in.
Sitting behind that shield. Nothing Moonlight can do.
Kamer playing quite aggressive here on the Moira. Interesting seeing him transition from a Mercy or Ana role historically to playing Moira throughout this series so far. And Moonlight, they missed their opportunity to have a one-up in the fight. Ultimates are now pretty even, and that's what they're trading. They're trading ultimates. Tuxedo's able to take out the Riptide. It's Matt's able to take out the Supercharger. Tactical Visor comes in, able to take out Dollars, deploy. Tuxedo's able to hook and take out Ulik, and Bozot's able to get 2 kills there quite quickly as 4-star takes out Unknown Supercharger, and the Junkrat is doing work here now for Unknown. As they just finish it off, and that'll be Unknown taking the first map here, Ilios, in this 3-map series. Box, do you think that Junkrat switch helped Unknown to hold on and make sure that they won Ilios?
Well, I honestly think that that was the best choice that they have done, because that there helped them to overwhelm the other Orisa shield and allowed them to get those extra bit of shots off and help them win the fight.
Yeah, briefly, it seems like Bozot on the Sombra and the Junkrat role was able to really just mess with the heads of Moonlight and not give them really much opportunity to do anything.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the whole composition was really on that Sombra and Junkrat pick.
And I was doubting the Moira pick for that whole map there on Ilios from Kamer, but he was making a difference, I have to say, and not dying as much as you might see if he was playing perhaps the Mercy or the Ana. So I think the combination of that Sombra, the Moira, and then Ulik on that Diva as well, I think that just helped Unknown to... I mean, it wasn't a convincing win. Moonlight were able to, I guess, push in and at least show up for some of those fights, but with the Sombra on the backline, especially on that first map at Lighthouse, he was just wasting time. Alright, and we're very quickly heading into map 2 here, and the new map pool for AAOL. It's week 4, and we're going to Hollywood. Be interested to see what picks we see out here on the side of Unknown, because that Sombra could work very well here on this map, as is that Moira that Kamer has been running so far in this series. It looks like Arcasius is coming in, and he's going to be the one on the Sombra for Unknown this game, so... interesting. Box, it looks like Tuxedo might be switching up to the Zarya here. Do you think that's going to help him to deal with that Sombra harassing him at the back?
I reckon, hopefully, if they've got that Sombra and the EMPs, it won't affect them as much for this time because they're running the triple tank.
You just feel like with Tuxedo, when he was on that Diva, there wasn't really much he could do to deal with the Sombra that was constantly nagging him at the back there and just running down the clock. So it's going to be Unknown defending first here on Hollywood. They're currently one map up in this 3-map series.
30 seconds.
Hello? Anyone out there?
If you're just joining us, I'm Swift here, joined by fellow casters Boxboy and Brayfree. So thanks for tuning into Unknown versus Moonlight as we get things kicked off here on Hollywood.
Starting off with a hack on the Mega back there.
Arcacius deciding that, well, doesn't get ult charge from the health pack anymore, but it's still worth him hacking it, and he's able to start using Sombra's new, much improved gun here. Able to lay in some damage to the attackers on the side of Moonlight. And this is looking very quickly like a failed push from Moonlight.
Ooh, an early use of Coalescence just to finish off the last two people.
Came up in less than 45 seconds, so I guess that might be an excuse to use it. So with the new Sombra changes, Sombra isn't able to get ultimate charge from hacking health packs, but it seems like Arcacius is still seeing that as a valuable part of Sombra's kit, able to translocate back to the health pack, get charged, make sure that the enemy team's not able to get healing from that health pack.
And hack on the Junkrat right there.
And a hack on a Junkrat renders it pretty useless in terms of mobility. Some early kills coming out here from the tanks on the side of Moonlight, but the trades quickly come in from Unknown, and it's looking pretty even.
That's the Lucio and the Junkrat right there.
And
Junkrat being able to jump back out.
And looks like Baby Diva's here getting stalled out, but for whatever reason the Riptide comes out from Zephyr, and I don't know what he's going to be trying to look for here. If he can get some picks up, it might help, but no. He's taken out by the Roadhog.
Ooh! Sneaky little mine to try and get that double jump from the Junkrat, and he managed to accidentally hit the Sombra.
Again, the Sombra hacks are just making a massive difference. It's sort of just disabling Moonlight from able to doing what they want to be doing here on the point. And interestingly enough, the members of Moonlight aren't focusing too hard on this Sombra. He's sort of letting the Sombra, Arcacius on the Sombra, letting him do whatever he wants to do, finding it really hard to target him.
As you may have seen, the Sombra just hacked the Lucio there. With the new changes, Sombra's hacks on Lucio make it so that he can't wall ride, and whatever sound he is making no longer affects the team.
So it's a pretty powerful hack there onto the Lucio, but the Lucio is able to get his revenge with Deploy getting a kill onto Arcacius. That might not be enough to capture this first point as they're still skirmishing on top of the cart. Tuxedo with the grab coming in, catches Mar on the Zenyatta. And the Riptide is coming in from Zephyr, and it's able to find its mat on the Orisa. Another EMP comes in from Arcacius, but at this time it's Moonlight with the bodies on the point, as they're able to finally capture the point and start moving that payload.
Doesn't seem like either team is swapping off at this point.
No, Zephyr does switch onto that Tracer, however. Junkrat really only effective on this first point.
I am ready.
Looks like Ulik swapped off Reinhardt? Swapped onto the Zarya, or was... I think that was already there.
Roadhog just before.
Into the
Early trance comes out there from Noir for Unknown, and the Coalescence comes out for Moonlight.
A lot of ults coming out from
yeah,
Moonlight.
both sides actually, ults coming out. I guess Moonlight see the value here in wiping the team and getting the payload around the corner. And there's just one more fight until the second point.
I'm on fire.
Group up with me. Group up. Rally at my position.
So, Hidden set himself up behind the enemy team here. Trying to get the flank. He's got a tactical visor! Tactical visor does come out from Hidden, but Moonlight do answer with that sound barrier. Dollars does get a kill onto Arcasius after the MP, and that pulse bomb will get Hidden, and it looks like that Moonlight might just be up right at the moment. It's the Coalescence coming out from Soulgloss, as 4-Star's able to do some cleanup there on Diva, and they've captured the second point a lot quicker than they captured the first. Boxboy, it looks like Acacius has decided to dump the Sombra for this last point and go for Genji, but he's already been taken out by the Moira.
Yeah, I think the reason why he did that was because the triple tank here was just not being affected by the EMP as much.
Deploy looks like he wants to push up, but he's the only one on the cart, so he's going to have to stay back and keep it moving. Unknown sort of staying back and considering what they're going to do here, grouping up. They don't want to get overridden by Moonlight at this point, or they're going to give up the point for free, but Deploy's able to get that kill onto Noir, and that's going to be an important pick. Start things off as the Earth Shadow comes out. 3 kills for the side of Moonlight, and that might just be enough to capture this last point. And it is. Wow, after that initial push, they were struggling so hard to capture that first point. They complete all 3 points with a pretty nice time bank there. Just under 2 minutes. That's pretty impressive on a map like Hollywood. Early on here, it looks like Arcasius might decide to stick onto that Genji for the attack, rather than the Sombra. So, we'll see what comes out from the side of Moonlight. They haven't decided to run a Sombra yet in this series. Alright, Box, what do you think Unknown need to do here on the attack?
I honestly think that they're planning on just going in and trying to battle their way and brawl their way through this and try and just stay on cart for after they capture the point.
So you think they're going to dive onto the point and stick pretty close with the cart?
Yeah.
Interesting seeing Zephyr switching over to the Soldier 76. He's been favouring the Tracer and the Junkrat so far today, but this is a great map for Soldier with lots of high ground for defending the first point.
Well, I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get...
We're seeing that Orisa Hog combo for Moonlight for their defense as well, which is always good.
Along with a Diva. Triple tank defense.
I think this might just work for them too. I think since they've started running this triple tank, they've looked like they've been able to get something done that they hadn't been able to get done on Ilios.
Interestingly enough, the #Unknown have also changed over to a triple tank composition.
It's tank versus tank. And as Box predicted, they're brawling it out here on the point with an early trade from both sides, even at this point.
Right now it's pretty much the battle of the beasts between all tanks.
And it looks like it's Moonlight, the defending team's tanks, that are able to get the kills that they need to defend the point, as Unknown's retreating out the back here, which...
Oh, it seems like they're trying to spawn camp here.
They are. They're going back, and they are able to kill Dollars on Orisa back at the spawn.
my friends. I am your shield.
And now that they've got that kill, they're able to come back in. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Maybe it was just for the free ult charge.
I don't know. It's Matt's able to come in, charge, and kill the Moira though, and the Coalescence comes out from the side of Unknown as they get 2 more kills.
Drop the beat.
Sound barrier comes out for Unknown,
I'm not paying you for your acting ability.
giving the team a bit of extra shield as Nar looks to kill his Zenyatta counterpart.
Routing power to forward.
And it looks like Unknown's going to be able to take this point. Interesting. Self-destruct does come out late there, but that's not going to save this point for Moonlight.
This is my will.
I think a bit of a mistake here from 4-Star and the Roadhog and others pushing up here to try and contest after they've already lost the point. They haven't had time to set up a proper second point defense.
I've only got a whole day of shooting ahead of me.
This will restore you.
Brief Ray, do you think it's do you think that was a mistake not getting Zephyr up on the high ground with perhaps the Diva ready to intercept?
I think it was a mistake not to really set up instead of going towards the point to try and contest more. I think that may have cost them.
Yeah, and let's face it, they didn't really have much of a chance of defending that after losing virtually their whole team, but the Graviton Surge does come out from the side of Unknown, and it's going to be a triple kill Pulse Bomb in the grab, and that's all Unknown needs to push the card a little bit further.
A bit of a tactical crouching there at the end.
And this is the 3rd time in this series we've heard Athena say team kill. Unknown pretty good at making that happen.
My will made real.
Those
There
Moira
has been a
Hawks.
swap of Team Moonlight at the moment. They've decided to go for the Reaper, try and counter the triple tank.
So 4-Star switched off that Roadhog onto the Reaper. That might be a good idea. He does get low, but he does get healed back up again. Moonlight might be able to stall this out, but the tactical
Quick
visor,
shutdown for the visor.
self-destruct comes out too. Doesn't find anything. Deploy's still got a Transcendence here, which they could use to hold the point.
Routing power to forward.
There's also that Primal Rage, and Dollars does pop that Primal Rage to try and stall this point out a bit more. I think running down the clock's probably a wise option here if they can keep stalling it. Doesn't matter so much if they cap the point, but if they can run the time off the clock. But they're not going to be able to here on the second point. But
Oh, they're gonna... Oh, that was a bit late on there from Tuxedo.
yeah, Box. Moonlight making the same mistake again, coming in. Just a few of them, and
They're
trying to
just going in
contest.
and trying to find the
Fortunately, there is
go without a team.
no place to jump off just to do a quick reset. That monkey is back there, and he is stuck. Unknown is aware of it.
These Moira Orbs too, creating confusion everywhere as the Graviton Surge just comes out for Unknown. Not able to capitalize on it just yet. And that'll be the
Finally
Coalescence
gone.
coming out. Unknown are able to move the payload forward here a bit, and Moonlight, they do have some ultimates which they could use to stall it out, and that's what they're going to want to do, but that Pulse Bomb from Zephyr doesn't find anyone, and, well, Unknown are just getting more kills to move this payload forward. Ideally here for Moonlight, they're going to want to stall this payload for another 3 minutes into overtime, but I don't know that they can do it. They've just used their ultimates, they've got none left, and that's the sound barrier coming out for Unknown. Unknown able to get the kills, but Noir and the Lucio does fall to those death bombs that Junkrat drops, and, well, Unknown they're going to able to capture with a healthier time bank than Moonlight.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
Boxboy, do you think sticking with that triple tank composition for so long was a mistake for Moonlight?
I think it was. It was just right there, and the other team had a moving object to stay on. So they were all grouped up, and they just kept going in one at a time, or at small groups, and they just couldn't handle the whole 6v3 team.
Yeah, they did switch to the Reaper eventually, but could have been too late because they did get overwhelmed at the end there. Not really able to put a stop to the payload.
Repositioning. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And I mean, anything could happen from here. Both sides have a decent amount of time to make a first point capture at least, and then push the payload in overtime. You do see sometimes here on Hollywood some very extensive overtime pushes.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Alright, and it looks like we'll see Arcasius on the Reaper for this defense this time. No Sombra, and it'll be hidden on the Soldier. No triple tank from either side this time, so... Moonlight looking a little bit split up here for this push.
Goes onto the Zen.
Yeah, the Zen was sort of by himself, away from the team, going through the gate, so he was an easy target. As soon as they came through that gate, Moonlight, they split up, and, well, the supports were vulnerable, and there was nothing the DPS could do, separated from their teams. Now, they've only got time for perhaps 2 more pushes if they're lucky to try and capture this point, and, well, they didn't have much success the first time around, so we'll see what they can do.
This will protect us.
As we see here, Kamer is actually on the Mercy at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Kamer's probably best known for his Mercy play. He's got a lot of hours on Mercy, and he's probably going back to that experience to try and hold this point. It looks like it's paying off so far as well, boosting Arcasius. He's doing the damage he needs to do, and able to halt any push coming out. So this is the last chance for Moonlight to at least get some progress on this first point.
10 seconds remaining.
They do have the Transcendence, and that's the Valkyrie coming out from Kamer, and well, it's over already as the Tactical Visor comes out, and that looks like a celebratory Transcendence from the side unknown.
Might have been premature.
No, doesn't get the kill. And Zephyr just being a little bit annoying on the trace of it, really. There's nothing that Moonlight can do from here. So the best that Moonlight can hope for at this stage is that they're able to do a full defense on this first point and settle for a draw. But Free, what do you think the chances of that are?
I think Unknown have decent chance of being able to take this point. They seem to be really good at attacking points. It seems to be their best sort of strength.
Yeah, I think you're right. Alright, and it looks like we'll see Kamer back onto the Mercy here. So, interesting, after running Moira earlier on, he's going back to the Mercy, so perhaps he's more familiar with the Mercy, but
incoming in 30 seconds.
You guys won't be able to see, but he says in the match chat that Mercy needs more nerf. Well, we've seen at the pro level in the Overwatch League, Mercy's still being picked even after these changes, so I guess for a team that's running a Mercy, the other team's really at a disadvantage because those reses can still make a difference.
5, 4, 3.
Zephyr on the Junkrat, crouching and placing a sneaky trap there at the gate.
Defend objective A.
Alright, so Unknown have 2.5 minutes to get one tick here to win, and well, Moonlight, they've got to full hold this point for 2.5 minutes if they're going to walk away from this map with a draw. Unknown being a bit patient, Camillo in the back here, just waiting, and now they're going to try and overrun Moonlight on the point, and so far
that anti on all of those tanks, it's not helping.
Well, I almost wrote off Moonlight there, but
All systems checked out.
I have been able to keep it together as Tuxedo does get quite low here in the Roadhog. Ulick is demeched.
The late stagger, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did not expect Moonlight to come out of that fight ahead, but they were able to get the trade kills and keep their defense alive with 1 minute 30 to go.
I really feel that the anti from that from deploy really helped, as Kama couldn't heal the low health Hog and Ryan.
Yeah.
Into the iris.
And the whole Hog comes out here from Tuxedo. He's looking for Kama on the Mercy. He gets Noir on the
and he's gonna go for the res.
and that's a successful res out from Kama, but he does get taken out by one of Zephyr's bombs. The self-destruct does come in. Well, we're quite even at this point as Tuxedo's getting so low, but he's nowhere near from taking a breather, and he's gonna fall. 4-star with a tactical visor coming out now. And he might have just found what he needed to find with that tactical visor to hold off Unknown for a little bit longer with just 40 seconds to go.
This will be Unknown's last push.
Yeah, they're running out of time, but they do have 2 support ultimates. They've got the Earth Shadow coming up if they need it, and they've got the whole Hog. On the side of Moonlight, there's really only 2 ults, the Riptire and the Supercharger.
And initiating with Valkyrie. Very good.
That Riptide does come out, doesn't find anybody, and Zephyr gets taken out. Arcasius is able to get a hook onto 4-star, and Unknown seem like they've been able to take this point in their final push.
Win for Unknown.
Victory.
Alright, with a 3-map series and Unknown winning the first 2 maps, they've won this match.
Play of the game.
Fire at will.
Double.
So with those of you unfamiliar with these 2 teams, up until this point, both of these teams have been undefeated, so this is Moonlight's first match loss in this season of the AAOL so far. So this is going to send Unknown up to the top of the ladder, I suppose. Currently up there with them is Madgangers, elohelp.com. As we're heading to map 3 here, now Horizon Lunar Colony in this new map pool. I'm liking it. They're not wasting any time between maps here. Getting straight to it.
Traveling to Horizon Lunar Colony.
Alright, Brave Free, what are you expecting from these teams on Horizon?
I think we could be seeing some quad tank, maybe on the attacking side, maybe some triple tank on the defensive side. It's anyone's guess, really.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate again that this is now going to be Moonlight's first AAOL Season 3 loss after winning their first 3 matches, so Unknown are really breaking out here as a favourite to perhaps win this Season 3 of the AAOL.
Yeah. So far they are one of several teams that have actually never lost a single map.
Attackers incoming.
Moonlight was another team that had not lost a single map until today. So this is very interesting.
Yeah, so there's one map left to play here for Moonlight. They're not going to get a win out of this match today, but perhaps by taking a map off of Unknown, that might be something that they can look to do and perhaps break Unknown's momentum going into their game next week.
Attackers incoming.
We're seeing here a pause.
A pause coming out.
Ooh.
And looks like the pause has been requested from the side of
Moonlight.
Moonlight, thanks.
Yeah. Oh.
So any of you guys familiar with AAOL matches, you might have been surprised that There's been no pause up until this point.
Yeah. Very, very,
So as far as these games go, we've got through them these maps pretty quickly, so I'm liking the efficiency from these teams. Looks like it's perhaps one of the players having ping issues, so we'll give that a few minutes to sort itself out.
While we're waiting, we could quickly talk about the compositions that we have here. With Unknown having the Sombra Reaper.
Yeah, so it looks like that Arcacius has been subbed out for Bozot, who we saw on the first map. Arcacius only making a one map appearance in this series, coming back for what he's made his signature hero, I guess you could say, with these new Sombra changes. Yeah. Also came back on the Moira after playing Mercy at the end. And Moonlight look like they're playing that Moira as well. So interesting.
Moonlight is going with the triple tank composition again with the Junkrat, which is quite interesting. I believe Unknown might have been trying to predict this, and that might have been why they chose the Reaper.
Well, we're 3 seconds into this to this third map as we're waiting during the pause. Might just go over some results from earlier AAOL games today.
Oh boy.
Just to give you an idea of what's happened today. So, some of the other teams to watch. Unreal Aussies lost to...
the match is starting.
Oh, we go. Not even getting time to go through the earlier matches, so we're back here on Horizon Lunar Colony.
Get into position.
Quick kill on Zephyr.
Very quickly. As Bozot's looking for someone to hack, and he does get the hack onto the Zarya. In Tuxedo, he dies immediately. These hacks and translocates are just feeling so powerful at the moment.
Oh, and a quick hack on that Lucio.
Yep, and the hack on the Lucio is going to impact the rest of the team as well. So it looks like at this point, Moonlight's sort of getting caught up way back away from the point with this pressure coming on from the Sombra. They haven't been able to get far so far. The hack comes onto the D.Va, that's no defense matrix. And well, Bozot 95% to EMP. That's going to be quite handy if to stop any push that comes out from Moonlight here. Another hack on the D.Va.
Oh,
huge EMP.
EMP drops off the Moira ultimate there.
Drop the beat.
Bit premature with the
Looks like Moonlight might actually be making a promising push here as they're getting some important kills. Bozot's still in the backline causing havoc, but I don't think I mean, like, we're hearing now Sombra being described as a one-man army, but not able to win in a 1v6 fight.
My ultimate is charging.
There's a good EMP, but will we be seeing a swap? Seems Kamer's swapped off to the Mercy now.
Yeah, so it seems like he's going back to playing what he's comfortable with, and that's fair enough. They don't want to lose a map, given their perfect record so far. And I'm gonna say that 4 Stars very sick of getting hacked on the D.Va. Some good defensive ults coming up here for Unknown as well.
I think Moonlight may have figured out the best way to counter this Sombra here with the Junkrat. Splash damage seems to really be paying off against the Sombra.
Yeah, and this push is looking quite promising for Moonlight, they just need to take out the Sombra,
Oh,
but she
and a
doesn't
quick
even...
EMP, but no one there to capitalize on it.
Wow, this push so far from Moonlight is so impressive. Zephyr on this Junkrat making a massive difference as that Riptide comes out and gets Mercy again! They are so close to wrapping this up here. Moonlight. They just need to finish off the last members who are on the point. And the Earth Shatter does come out and... Well, I'm watching this intently and
Oh,
that was a really impressive offense from Moonlight.
4 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock.
0-2.
So Zephyr finally discovering that by playing Junkrat rather than the Soldier or the Tracer, great counter for that Sombra. And also just generally, he's getting a lot of work done. I mean, he doesn't seem to be too phased by the concussion mine nerf, he's still getting kills. And they cap the second point with a 4 minute 31 second time bank, which is very respectable. Interesting now that Unknown don't want to be running that Sombra anymore. Bozart's decided he's going to go back to the Junkrat that he played earlier when the Sombra was not working out for him. Zephyr also staying on that Junkrat. I think Unknown might get the sense now that they've forced Bozart off that Sombra that they won't be running that anymore. As 4-star goes back onto the Diva, he would have been so frustrated getting hacked at least 3 times on that attack earlier.
We're seeing Moonlight still playing the triple tank.
30 seconds.
I mean, if it's not broke.
Yeah.
What an interesting hypothesis.
Look, I'll be very impressed here if Moonlight can take a map off Unknown. These are 2 top quality teams that, you know, I wouldn't put past them facing off in a AAOL final, so Moonlight, if they come out of this match with a map win, I think that's something to feel really good about, and Unknown are going to feel a little bit let down after a perfect map record.
I feel like with Unknown trying this triple tank as well, it might really pay off for them. They're running almost identically the same composition that Moonlight ran last time when they were pushing.
Let's see what happens. Unknown being quite aggressive, rotating around to the side of the point, and they're going straight for it. Not like Moonlight on that first attack, who were waiting back for a very long time. Unknown are going straight for it, pushing in with this Junkrat. He does get pressured by that Orisa pull, but they're still going at it, and no kills just yet.
Ooh, and that's a kill on the Reinhardt.
Wow. And all these kills do come in quite suddenly. Bozart's still alive on the Junkrat, but he does get finished off. So, the only member for the side of Moonlight to die in that fight was the Diva. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty, nearly a flawless defense. Just able to get all those kills in, one after the other.
As we can see with the ultimate charges here, both Junkrats pretty much have ultimates, and Reinhardt on the Unknown side seems to...
And the Riptide does come out from Bozart for Unknown. He's looking for something on the point, and he does find his
counterpart.
He does. That's an Earth Shatter that comes out for Unknown, and Ipsmat is able to charge deploy. Hidden on the Zarya on the point, but 4-star is able to get a DMAC onto the enemy Diva.
Ooh, and a quick kill onto the Orisa there.
Yeah, Hidden currently on like full charge, doing a lot of damage here on the Zarya, but the Riptide has come out from Zephyr, who is able to come back onto the point. It's a self-destruct, and Zephyr's not able to find anything with that Riptide, but he's already a quarter of the way to the next one, but it looks like that Unknown will capture this first point.
My ultimate is charging.
So Unknown were not deterred by the failure of the first push. They stick with the same team composition, and it did work out, and they've now got 5 minutes and a half to capture second point, but they're going to want a better time bank than Moonlight, and they're going straight for it here.
They are very close to, yeah, grab right there.
That's not great follow-up on that grab. That's only 1 kill onto the Orisa and her supercharger, but we are seeing some more action here from Unknown, getting some more kills, and Zephyr's getting pressured by the Zarya. Right, things are looking pretty dire now for Unknown, with Bozol and the Junkrat doing work. The Transcendence does come out, but I don't know what difference that's going to make at this point. Roadhog booped into the air, and he does bring out the whole hog. He gets very low there on... He's one hit and he's taken out by the D.Va. Wow, it's Matt being so aggressive here on the Reinhardt's able to get a charge onto the Winston. Still brawling it out on the point. Unknown are very, very close to taking this point, but Nah is able to get a trade kill onto a support. Hidden's able to get a kill onto the D.Va mech, and looks like Unknown's very, very close to taking this point. Their time bank only a little bit less now.
Oh, and the Riptire onto the Winston.
Well, I'm waiting
Another
for this
grab coming up. Oh! They just
Wow.
managed to get it with under just 10 seconds difference between the two.
2-2.
Very impressive attacks.
Yeah, so I felt like once Unknown were on that second point, Moonlight weren't really able to take a breath and stop the offense. Unknown just kept coming, and they weren't able to get enough kills onto them to put a stop to the push. But they were able to stall them out for a minute or so, and they've now got a relatively even time bank. So let's see if either of these teams will be able to capture 1 or 2 of the points in just over 4 minutes. Now, Bozat back on the Junkrat. He was also doing like phenomenally well on that attack on the Junkrat, just as Zephyr had done previously.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Interesting switch shot here for the side of Moonlight, with Sorgloss switching off of that Moira and onto the Zenyatta, and I'll be deploy on the Moira this time. So no Lucio here on this this defense.
Yeah, it seems they're opting for a more damage-based composition here.
Yep, and that could be the way to go. So let's see if it makes a difference here for Moonlight, who will want to hold this point fully for the 4 minutes.
Incoming. Defend objective A.
Team Unknown not changing anything though.
No, they're sticking with that composition that worked for them before. Looks like they're doing a different sort of approach here. Well, not wasting any time once again. Putting pressure on the side of the point there. The damage comes in, and the early D-Mech does come out, but both D.Vas are out of their max.
Quick kill on the Winston. But
And that is a very fast Riptire out from Zephyr, but it gets taken down by the enemy Junkrat. He gets very low. The Roadhog is able to get a trade kill, but he's not able to stay alive, and that looks like it will be a point take for Unknown. So things are looking a little bit tricky now here from Moonlight.
Zenyatta's still very close to the point.
That's a really bad stall out for that Zenyatta, but
New defense.
Bozot on Junkrat for Unknown. He got a bad spawn, so he's still a way off coming back in, but he has got that Riptire, so we could see a pretty quick engagement here from Unknown.
Back in the fight.
Well, Zephyr's able to take out Hidden quite early, and 4-Star's able to take out its Mat, so both of those tanks down for Unknown early, and they're just... Well, they're retreating pretty damn quickly. Wow, that was great, a great play there from the DPS for Moonlight, able to find those tanks that were in trouble, take them out, and well, that put a stop to the push. So they are able to slow down Unknown's momentum here, which is something that they weren't able to do before. So let's see if Moonlight can hold on to this defense, because they won't want them to make any progress here on this point. The Riptide does come out from Bozot, and it finds both of the DPS on the side of Moonlight, and Tuxedo's also out of mech. Self-destruct comes out from Ulick, but it doesn't find anything. Ulick does find the Winston, does find the Moira, and it's looking pretty grim here for Moonlight, but Zenyatta does come onto the point to Transcendence, trying to stall out some
Unknown does have the Graviton Surge here.
Alright, let's see, slowing down a little bit.
Here we go.
Graviton
Build up a lot of ult charge for anyone that gets into it.
Ulick getting a little bit low on the Diva, but they're not able to finish him off, and Bozok gets 3 consecutive kills there. But he is taken out by Deploy with the Coalescence, and Ulick is taken out of mech, and it looks like that Moonlight, they might be able to stop this push now. Wow, that was one hell of a fight.
Unknown only got to get just over 1 tick.
That's still pretty good, and I think Moonlight will be disappointed that they did have to give up any progress, because, well, they're setting the standard for themselves to meet in their next push. Hidden switched up for the McCree here, which is an interesting pick. Well, that's an early pulse bomb and an early well, that pulse bomb and that death blossom is gonna put an end to this attack from Unknown. Hidden stalling out there.
Very quick end to a fight.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll be happy with that result, but they haven't really got much. Well, I'm just having a look now for Unknown. They've only got 1 ultimate to use in the next minute, so I don't know what. Unless they get a 6-man Earth Shatter, I'm not sure what it is that they're going to be able to pull out here.
They're going to have to use that Shatter to open up a lot of doors.
But they lose one of their supports before the fight's already started, and it looks like they might want to retreat.
Oh, no, they're going in. They're going for it. They're getting it.
Early Earth Shatter.
Onto the Diva.
I don't know that was worth it back there, getting 1 kill with the Earth Shatter. They lose 2 of their own, and there's only 15 seconds left on the clock.
Diva having ult now.
10 seconds
on the side of Unknown, but
that's all they've got.
Someone needs to be touching that point.
Well, there'll be the DMAC and the self-destruct coming out for Unknown, but it doesn't find anything as the brawl does take place on the point. That'll be a Coalescence coming out from Kamer there.
And the Transcendence.
2 Pulse Bomb kills there from either side, and well, Unknown, they're not actually being contested on the point. Zephyr's taken out as well. And 4-star not able to do anything on the Reaper. Doesn't matter how much they stall it out now, it's in overtime, and well, unless Moonlight are able to miraculously kill everyone on the point, then this will be both points captured for Unknown, and it is with nothing left in the time bank, so
I could do this with my eyes closed.
Well, Unknown have set
Seems that Shadow really did actually somehow help.
Yeah, or maybe they got lucky with the other push. So Unknown have set Moonlight a very tough challenge to capture both points within 4 minutes and 31 seconds. And if they're able to capture the second point with the time bank, then all they need is 1 tick for a win. So we could be in a similar situation as before, where the draw is a possibility, but Moonlight are going to work really hard here, I think, to make a solid attack and try and capture both points within the time bank.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Well, Dollar's having a bit of fun swinging the hammer around on Reinhardt.
5, 4, 3.
Alright, let's see what Moonlight can do with this offense.
Incoming. Defend objective A.
Should just note that 4-star is now on the Junkrat and Zephyr's on the Tracer, so Interesting switch. Also note that Kamer's back on the Mercy, one of his more familiar heroes.
It is quite interesting to see that that Moonlight has swapped off the triple tank. Something that they've been using the entire time on Horizon.
Oh,
And a quick kill on the 4-star.
it's a nasty kill, and
Now
I think
onto the Reinhardt.
this push is now well and truly over. But I will note quickly that instead of staying way back and doing a slower push like on their first attack, Moonlight has taken a leaf out of Unknown's book and gone straight for the point from the left side. So that was nearly a complete copy of the offense from Unknown. So yeah, we have seen out through the series tonight that, well, when it's a very close situation, Kamer does go onto that Mercy, a hero that he's very familiar with. And with good reason too. He's almost at that Valkyrie, which could be important. Bozart does bring out a Riptide there, but it doesn't find anybody. And Moonlight are making a push onto the point with Coalescence.
Seems to be working. Oh.
Well, not for long.
Yeah.
Bozart doing... He's doing so much on this Junkrat. Seems every concussion mine he throws out, he does damage with it. It connects onto somebody. So he's making a huge difference at the moment for Unknown.
Now show them.
Just 2 minutes 30 on the clock, so...
Tracer up top, ready to...
That's interesting, and I'm interested that Zephyr is back on that Tracer, so... Moonlight are going to hope that they have a quick and successful attack here, because they still need to take the second point. And that's the Riptide coming out from 4-star. Let's see what it finds, and it finds Orisa, and I'd say that's a pretty good pick.
Oh, looks like... Yep, there's a res on the Orisa from Kamer.
So there, it just shows the importance of Mercy. Again, Orisa back in the fight, so that Riptide was absolutely useless. That Riptide was not absolutely useless though. Bozart able to get 2 kills with his own Riptide, and well, this is looking pretty tough now for Moonlight. As Moira gets stalled out on the point too, so they've only got about a minute and a half. They're going to have to capture this point really quickly and the second point really quickly. Tough task. They do have a couple of ults which could make it happen if the Tuxedo on Zarya is able to get a number of them in the grab. That pulse bomb is out for Zephyr, so that could be a game-changing ult if they are able to get it done. But they don't, because Zephyr throws out the pulse bomb in the middle of the point. It doesn't find anybody. They are able to get 2 early picks out here though, Unknown.
Unknown seems to... Oh! A quick hook from the Hog on Unknown happens to pull down the Reinhardt shield.
Well, and Deploy and 4-star right now, they are cleaning up, and well, when that Junkrat's alive, he's doing damage, so it didn't seem like that Unknown were able to shut that Junkrat down soon enough.
Tracer already on the point.
And Deploy's just going back to speed boost in his teammate on the Junkrat, who got stuck at the old spawn, as Bozart did earlier. So they've got 1 minute to take this second point, and they don't really have many ults to do it with, so let's see what happens. Deploy taken out early, but that's a very healthy trade, and well, they're at a 1-player disadvantage here at the moment, Moonlight, but Unknown do have that massive spawn advantage, so you think at this point perhaps they want to get out and regroup so that they have one more push.
30 seconds remaining.
So the task at hand here now is for Moonlight to capture the point in 15 seconds.
Ooh, failed tire there.
Yeah, that's not great for Unknown. And that's a really good Earth Shudder coming out from Moonlight. Let's see if they can do anything with it. No, but they lose their Junkrat, so that's a crucial early pick. The Zephyr is able to take out the Zenyatta, and Dollars is able to take out the D.Va. Zephyr able to take out another tank as the sound barrier comes out from Devoy.
And a res attempt from Kamer there.
That was
actually
a very,
got it off though.
Very risky res attempt. The res did come out, but Kamer did pay the ultimate price, his life. The desperate stall is now coming out for Unknown as they're getting so close to taking this point.
Self-destruct from the D.Va.
Could be deadly, but no, it doesn't, and they're not able to kill the D.Va before she remakes. That's a pulse bomb coming in, and does get Kamer again. Kamer's getting killed so often here on this second.
Pine coming in, gets no one.
Doesn't find anything. Another wasted tire.
Just staggering to keep it on.
Oh!
And they both go into next round. 1 minute left.
This is I can't say that I have seen too many AAOL games this season, but these are two top-tier teams who previously had not lost a match, had not lost a map. I'm probably calling this as the game of the season thus far. So both sides now with a minute to try and do something. Neither of them have really been able to make much progress on that first point in the first minute, so we might see the strategy switch up a little bit because time is of the essence now. I am so impressed that Moonlight was able to attack that second point and capture it in overtime. Pretty good fate, but I think perhaps for Unknown that failed Riptire twice. Either of those Riptires could have ended those pushes, so that could have cost them that point. Also too, Kamer on Mercy dying quite a lot, not able to actually do any healing on that second point defense. So he's back on the Moira now. So we're saying familiar comps, but this time it's Bozot on the Roadhog, and it'll be Unknown triple tanking on this offense. We've got 1 minute to capture the point, so this could be a good strategy.
Unfortunately, Bozot has been left behind by the Lucio.
And he doesn't look too happy about it either. Looks like they're going. No, it looks like they're going around the right side this time, which they hadn't done previously, and they're going straight onto the point from the right side. One of the players has requested a pause here, and I can't say I'm too happy about this pause because I can hear Tracer's guns going off here in my ear, and it's not too pleasant. So this is the same player on the side of Moonlight who had requested a pause earlier, citing lag issues, so it could be a little bit of time before they come back. And I mean, it's understandable, they're in this situation at the moment where this game's on the line. This map, I should say, is on the line. Moonlight are going to want to win a map in this series at least, so they're not going to play with lag issues. They're going to want to get that sorted out. Free, what do you think? What do you think Moonlight can do here to stop this push? Because as I think it
really comes down to the Tracer building up an ult, getting off a really good pulse bomb at this point. It looks like Unknown's pushing in quite well, and it's just going to have to come down to this this Tracer harassing. But we also have Unknown's Tracer on the other side harassing their tanks, most likely. So we're quite unsure.
Yeah, so I can't see where Zephyr is on my map at the moment, but I can hear Tracer's guns behind my current point of view, which is Bozot on the Roadhog. So I'm going to assume that Zephyr's charging his ult and putting pressure on that Roadhog from behind. But at the moment, at least 4 members are on the point, 4 unknowns. So, and
I believe the only person on the point for Moonlight is Dolaz, by the looks of it.
So I think really Moonlight's best chance here is for 4-star to get a couple of kills on that Junkrat. He needs to get a good angle on the point, throw in some bombs and concussion mines, and Moonlight supports are going to want to keep him alive, because as soon as 4-star dies, I think that defense on the first point dies with it. Alright, it's getting a bit tense in the match chat here. Both sides poking a little bit of fun at each other, but it looks like they are ready to resume. And the pause is coming off here in just a few seconds.
30 seconds remaining.
Alright, 30 seconds on the clock. Let's see what Unknown and Moonlight can do. Moonlight looking for a solid defense, but they lose 4-star at the start of the fight. And, well, I think that's their first point defense cooked, because they're not going to get him back, and they lose their other DPS Zephyr. Their support, it's
They
Hank.
lose their support, yeah. Aiming for the Lucio. Lucio's down. Hog just sitting there.
Well,
Fortunately, the one that is having technical issues still.
well, they're not killing him, so... Oh, I said that too soon.
Free ult charge.
30 seconds
This is a very, very sad,
New defense
sad
point.
game.
Objective B.
Yeah, I feel sorry
Tuxedo.
for Tuxedo there,
Yeah.
lagging out if that's the case. But I don't think that could have helped, because as I said earlier, if 4-star died at the start of the fight, I think that was their defense done, and that's exactly what happened, and that's what transpired. Desperate self-destruct comes out there from Ulick, but it does find dollars, it finds Sorgloss, and the trade kill does come out for 4-star, getting its map. But I don't know that this is going to be enough. Unknown are looking pretty convincing here on the second point offense.
They're really trying. Tuxedo coming in for the defense. Came along with the and the hook.
Whole Hog comes
He
out from
could
both
not-
sides, and he does connect with the enemy Roadhog.
Time to raise my APM.
Oh,
4-star on the side. Trying to get as much
Oh.
damage. Couldn't quite make it.
Complete.
It was quite an unfortunate event.
Will restore you.
Score 6-4.
well, this is interesting. So looking at match chat at the moment, it looks like that Moonlight don't want to continue playing, as their plans are having problems. Yeah, so it looks like Moonlight's going to finish the game here. They don't think that they can contest this attack that they need to make it happen. So I think Moonlight are going to be really disappointed. Perhaps things that are out of their control prevented them from having a shot at getting a map victory there on Horizon Lunar Colony. But overall, it was a very exciting series, Briefly.
Yeah, it was quite great. I really did not expect Unknown to be pushed into that corner, and I truly respect Moonlight's gameplay. It was quite good with the constant triple tanking over the course of Horizon. It was working for them. It was really...
We saw a lot of good team compositions, and I think something that can be said about these teams is that they're not going to stick with a single team composition throughout the whole match. They're going to keep things moving around, and that's exactly what happened. And, well, they had to keep up with each other. So I think it's fair to say after this game that Unknown is probably going to be one of the favourites to win Season 3 of the AAOL.
Yeah, definitely. I would not know who could stand against them now. It would not surprise me if Moonlight did end up coming back for a final against Unknown and somehow taking home the gold.
Yes, so well, I'll be interested to see some of these other top teams, Mad Gangers, EloHelp.com, even Hawaiian with No Pineapple, seeing how these teams go in the coming weeks and in the remaining few weeks of AAOL before the finals. So I think that probably just about does it here for us at the AAOL. So we'd like to thank you for tuning in to this game, Unknown against Moonlight. Unknown taking out a 3-0 win, but it wasn't a one-sided affair at all. Both teams played really well. So on behalf of myself, Swift, and Briefly, we'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday night here at AAOL.
Bye.